So Super Mario Bros. Broke the bank at the opening box office this weekend, but is it worth the cash in your pocket? Stick around and find out.
Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Wow, yay!
But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you.
Do you think I know every human being with a mustache wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it? Because I don't.
So in Super Mario Bros, we have Mario and Luigi who just started their plumbing business, and they see a huge opportunity to get a boost when there's a big sewage flooding in the middle of Brooklyn. So they decide to go to the sewage system, figure out what's going on, and they just see a plethora of pipes, including one particularly mysterious green pipe that they get a little too close to, and it sucks them in, and now Mario gets sent to Toad Island with Peach and everything one way, and Luigi gets sent to the island where Bowser's at with all of his henchmen and everything like that. And so now Mario is trying to get help, so he goes to Peach to help him find and save Luigi from Bowser's Island. In case you haven't seen it and you're wondering if, sorry, still broken mic. If you're wondering if the accent is distracting, I didn't think it was in any way. It's not hindering. They actually handle it in a really good way. So to be honest, there's really not much of an accent at all. But again, on the side of Mario and Luigi, I think it's great. They handled it great. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. What I will say is I think the film was good, but it didn't meet my expectations. I wouldn't say it was disappointing. It's just my expectations when I saw the trailer, I honestly felt like it would land in my top 10 by the end of the year. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a modern Wreck-It Ralph is what I got a feeling off of when I watched the trailer and how much I loved Wreck-It Ralph. And so I thought it would be one that I'd probably continuously come back to. It didn't meet that high of expectations, but it was still a good movie. And so you have a performance that I really want to make as a standout here, and that's Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Toad is like the friend that everybody needs. He's the dude that if someone's pressing you type of situation, even if the guy's 100 times bigger than he is, he's gonna jump in and he's got your back. And he's always got this great positive energy, not overly positive energy in my opinion. It's just it's a good balance, and it's just kind of funny because it's Toad and he's a super tiny dude. I really loved that voice acting performance from Keegan-Michael Key. I just love the character as well. And you have other performances like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's just a great actress in general as Peach, and then you have Jack Black as Bowser. Gotta love that. Obviously Chris Pratt as Mario. You have a lot of good performances, but nothing that stood out to me aside from Keegan-Michael Key. I thought he was really the standout. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was pretty good too, but again, for me it was really the atmosphere, the worlds that they built. I don't know if it's technically called Bowser's Island or Toad Island, I don't know, but the two islands were great. Really, the movie for me is a lot about the characters. There was a love song from Bowser that he was singing or creating. He wanted to sing to Peach when he finally gets to meet. The animation itself was really great. Obviously, the nostalgic music. If I'm being honest, I never really played a lot of the Super Mario games. I played bits and pieces of the Super Mario games. For me, my extent was really Super Smash Bros, which Mario and Luigi and all them are in, but it's not a Mario game. I maybe played Mario Super Sluggers and whatnot, but that's not the original, the original games, where if you really played them and you go watch this movie, I think you're going to really love it, and the nostalgia and the music and all the characters. My extent of knowledge is I know of Bowser and Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Goombas, I think they're called. I don't even know if that's what they're called, Toads. I know a decent amount, Mario Kart and stuff like that, you learn. But I didn't necessarily, it wasn't really my game that I loved playing all the time growing up. I wasn't really a Nintendo person. So if you are, I think it's gonna give you a lot better feeling. I think you'll enjoy it a lot more than I did. Again, I didn't dislike it by any means. I did enjoy it, but I think you'll appreciate it a lot more than I will, as well as kids. Obviously, I think kids will love this movie, whether they play Mario games or they don't. I think they'll love this movie, and I think that's probably part of the reason that the box office blew up is because of the fans who are nostalgic for Mario loved it, and the kids loved it. So obviously, if you have family, you have kids, they might have asked to go multiple times, and if you're a good parent and they wanted to go a second time, you probably told them no, because they need to start learning. Again, I mentioned all the things I liked, and part of the reason why it wasn't necessarily for me, like I knew of the story that they're kind of following because it's the main story of Mario. So if they come out with a second movie, they will. They're killing it at box office. It might make $1 billion. No bullshit. And I think they're already in works, particularly, or trying to find. I heard they're finding somebody for Wario. I think Pedro Pascal to play Wario now. They're probably gonna make a second one, and maybe the story there, it's either a story I don't know, not familiar with, or one completely original that they create, and maybe that story I'll enjoy more because I don't know what it's going to be. Some aspects of the movie were just very much for kids, which makes sense. It's mostly a kids movie. Obviously, they know adults are going to go who play the games, and it's very much a movie where if you are an adult and your kids want to go, you don't have, it's an hour and a half, so even if you don't like it at all, it's only an hour and a half, but I think you'll enjoy it as an adult still. It's not one of those kids movies that's strictly for kids. This ain't Rescue Pets or whatever. I mean, I haven't seen Rescue Pets, I'm just throwing out names. That's everything I really have to say for this one. It's an enjoyable movie for sure. Again, I liked it. I'm happy I went to see it. I would recommend seeing it unless you don't care anything about Mario and you don't have kids, or your kids don't care to see it if you do have kids. Like, aside from that, if you thought it looked good, if you loved Mario growing up, you played it, you're a Nintendo kid, or if you just have kids and they want to go see it, and you like taking your kids to see films that potentially you will enjoy too, I think this is definitely one to go see and to go have a good time out in the theaters for. My final verdict for this one is going to be a 6.3 out of 10. Again, I really don't expect it to be in my final 10, in my top 10 for the year at the end of the year. It would have to be a pretty slow year for films, but still good, enjoyable. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great